Greetings. I'm a doctoral candidate in dogmatic theology for the Gregorian University. I also teach theology for Loyola Chicago's Rome Center. My research focuses on the intersection between mimetic theory and the ecclesial abuse crisis, an area of stark confrontation between hope and darkness in the Church. Mimetic theory offers a unique perspective to reflect on the raising of Lazarus as recounted in John chapter 11, verses 1 to 44. This passage presents the opposite of imitation culminating in violence. René Girard explains that when two individuals desire the same thing, they often become rivals. Jealousy is a major biblical theme, evident in stories like that of Cain and Abel or Sarah and Hagar. These biblical narratives depict how rivalry leads to violence, unjust scapegoating, and ultimately to death. Contrasting this, in the raising of Lazarus, the scene begins with Martha and Mary sending word together to Jesus, "Lord, the one whom you love is ill." Both sisters seek Jesus' attention, not for themselves, but for their sick brother Lazarus, whom they endearingly call the one Jesus loves. We first meet the dynamic dyad of Martha and Mary, not in this episode in John's Gospel, but in Luke's Gospel. Luke gives us the famous story of the two sisters welcoming Jesus into their home. However, in Luke's narrative, we would hardly call the sisters a selfless team. Martha is famous for her quip, "Lord, do you not care?" To which Jesus responds, "Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her." Once again, a family rivalry takes center stage in the Bible. In John's Gospel, we see a different side. Martha goes out to meet Jesus, while Mary remains sitting at home. Once again, Martha takes the initiative, and Mary is docile, as in Luke's account. Jesus has arrived at the darkest hour. Martha boldly declares, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." The intimate conversation with Jesus that follows elicits Jesus' most explicit self-revelation, followed by Martha's response, which is one of the most direct professions of faith in Jesus' identity given in all four Gospels. This is deserving of its own reflection, but let's skip ahead to Martha's next action. Having professed her belief in Jesus as the Son of God, there is not time for Jesus to respond with praise as he once did for Peter. Martha immediately leaves Jesus and goes to find her sitting sister. Martha tells Mary, "The Lord is here, and he is calling you." We are left with a mystery. Nowhere in the recorded dialogue did Jesus tell Martha to go get Mary, nor even mention Mary. Jesus' dialogue with Martha is centered on Martha. Martha's last statement to Jesus shared her spiritual insight regarding who Jesus is. But before Jesus can respond to that, Martha quits the scene abruptly and goes to get her sister. Even more profound than Martha's words to Jesus is her message to Mary, "The Lord is here, and he is calling you." This simple statement reveals a transformation in Martha's attitude towards her sister from her "Lord, do you not care?" days. Martha has faith. The Lord wants her to find her sister. She is her sister's keeper, unlike with Cain and Abel. Martha trusts Jesus enough to quit being the center of his attention. She emphasizes to Mary that Mary is the one the Lord desires to see. Martha's message, "The Lord is here, and he is calling you," energizes Mary, who now takes action. Mary repeats to Jesus some of what Martha had just told him. For Mary, who was not present during Martha's dialogue with the Lord, it may feel as though it is she who now moves Jesus to tears and ultimately leads to the miraculous restoration of the life of their brother. This passage illustrates the undoing of the rivalrous relationships which echo back to the Garden of Eden. The chain of events effected by non-rivalrous love result in the miracle of resurrection. Praying with this passage offers inspiration to overcome jealousy and to let go of resentment. The affirmation, "The Lord is here and he is calling you," offers hope on different levels. At times, we may find ourselves in the position of Martha, reaching out to others with this message of care and an invitation to encounter the Lord, actively decentering ourselves from being the main character and seeking a supporting role. In other moments, we may resemble Mary, receiving from others a reminder of the Lord's presence and love, and allowing it to move us from despondency to action. It is the experience of being loved that wakes up our capacity to hope. Ultimately, like both sisters, we are invited to embrace a non-rivalrous partnership in the service of the Lord, animated by belief in his love.